And you, 99.9% of the time, I think the Justice Department does really good work. I thought Eric Holder was a great Attorney General. I think Loretta Lynch is a great Attorney General. But there's one case in particular which reeks. It smells like shit, America. Straight up. So, former mayor of the District of Columbia, Vincent C. whose tenure, was overshadowed by a federal investigation into his 2010 campaign. We found out this week that he will not be charged in any of the inquiries. So basically what they're saying is, what the prosecutor is saying is there is not enough evidence to charge the former mayor with committing any crime. So I said to myself when the article came out, I said, so wait a minute. You investigated and spent taxpayer dollars in 2010, and 2011, and 2012, and 2013, and 2014, and 2015. 5 years you investigated this man. And all that time, it took you 5 years to realize there wasn't enough evidence to convict him? So you murdered his political career, right? You destroyed the lives of the people of the District of Columbia by overshadowing the good governance happening in the city, right? By a scandal that was sort of, it was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like they created a scandal so that they could have something to do. And then after it was all said and done and they harpooned his mayoral run, then they say, oh, well, we didn't really think he did anything wrong. And it wasn't even like it was so ridiculous. It was done on a Wednesday morning in like a 3-sentence press release. So after 5 years and millions of dollars, a 3-sentence press release. I'm telling you, I'm not one of the people, I usually believe that, a lot of our politicians in this country are just corrupt and crooked as hell. But after 5 years of investigating this guy, you couldn't even get him on like a credit card fraud charge. You had nothing. Nothing. And now let's not mistake the fact that this mayor has actually been transformative. He was one of the first mayors, and I would argue governors, because D.C. is also seen as a state and a city, that made sure that transgender reassignment surgery was covered by all healthcare insurance in the District of Columbia. He's also one of the first mayors he was one of the guys that made sure that if you get tested positive for HIV/AIDS in the District of Columbia, you have access to retroviral drugs. Right? He's also a mayor that really worked on remodeling the city's schools. He's a mayor that's been great for developers and businesses. Right? Like, he's done really good stuff. But all that good stuff have been overshadowed by a trumped up, made up, not real scandal that was perpetuated by a U.S. attorney who, after 5 years of investigating him and millions of dollars of taxpayer money going into investigating him, came back with nothing. They basically, when he was getting ready to run, they were like, oh, we're going to have an indictment tomorrow. Then like, oh, we're going to have an indictment the next day. Oh, he's going to get indicted on Wednesday. Then he's going to get indicted on Thursday. No indictment. Then they release a press release a year after he's out of office, after he loses his election because of said scandal, that, oh, we didn't see anything wrong. I'm sorry, folks. That's just BS. It's BS.